All right, guys, the biggest thing I get asked a lot by a lot of individuals in expat is the healthcare in Costa Rica. So what I'm gonna do is I'm about to break it down for you. I'm gonna break down the cost, I'm gonna break down the quality, we're gonna break everything down. And what I think you're gonna find is gonna shock you from the quality and the cost of everything when it comes to healthcare here in Costa Rica. There's two sectors here in Costa Rica. We have the private and we have the public. Now, chances are there's going to be probably some point when if you do make the move down here, you're probably going to end up using both. Right? The public sector is the CAHA, the Universal Basic Health Care. You're going to be probably paying $100 a month when you come in as a temporary resident at first. Your whole family will be covered. Everything from operations, medications, and everything is covered through the public sector. Then we have the private sector. The private sector is quicker, a lot easier, and when it comes to communication, all the doctors and nurses, they all speak English, right? But with the private healthcare, you're gonna find that you're gonna get in quick, you can do your operations and get your results when you want them, how you want them. And unlike the public sector, where if you're having an operation or you need something, it could take months, if not longer, because of the backup in the system. A lot of the doctors from the private healthcare, it is mandatory for them to work in the public sector. So not thinking that, hey, if I go into the public, I'm gonna get somebody who's inexperienced or just came out of school, absolutely incorrect. The private doctors from all the different sectors have to put in so many hours a week into the public sectors here in Costa Rica. So you can be in the public healthcare system having a procedure and operation done, and chances are you're gonna have one of the associates from the private sector who's probably gonna be performing your operation for you in the public sector. All right, guys, now you're saying to me, but Mark, we're not a resident of Costa Rica. Do we only have to use the private sector? Nah. When you come here, you can also use the public sector and they'll figure out a cost for you. Now, you can have international healthcare. Some people swear by it. Me personally, I had it when I first got down here because I had that installed to me, that terminology that, you have to have healthcare, just like house insurance. You have to have health insurance. Well, here in Costa Rica, you don't need to have either of them. I chose not to have the healthcare because for me, what I was paying for healthcare compared to what procedures I've had done, I've had a few of them done here in Costa Rica, it was a lot cheaper just to have the procedure done. All right, guys, I'm gonna give you a little example. Going back maybe about 3 years ago, I fractured my foot landscaping with Crocs on. Yes, I had Crocs on. And I felt it. I felt the crack in my foot and I ignored it and I kept working. Well, later that night, my wife's like looking at my foot going, holy crap, what happened? I think I fractured it or I broke it. We live in Uvita. Instead of having checked out and the procedure done in Uvita, we drove 50 minutes up the mountain to a town called Perez Aldon, San Isidro, and the prices there are pretty much slashed in half. So we went to Las Americas, which is a private institution. I got seen by an orthopedist, had ultrasounds, x-rays, and blood work. And I came out of there with crutches and a partial cast on for less than $200. Everything took about an hour and a half. I didn't have to wait this and that. I paid up front a little bit and then I paid the remaining balance at the end after they were done everything. The best experience I had. And again, you're gonna say, yeah, but healthcare in Canada and all that is free. It's not, because 6 months out of the year, your wages are paying the taxes. Let's talk about dental work down here. Let's see if you guys can see. I got a gold tooth. I got an implant done. That was back at home in Canada. I had a dentist screw up my teeth. That was over $4,000 for a dental implant, root canal, and to have a crown, a gold crown put on, because gold's supposed to be the best in your mouth. My wife broke her tooth, and I actually broke my front tooth. So when I broke my front tooth, I went to the dentist here, again in San Isidro, Perez Aldon. I brought $1,500, almost $2,000 with me, thinking that's what the whole procedure is gonna cost. I went to go pay and I said, I'd like to pay for it all up front. And she's like, that's $675. I'm like, no. I want to pay for the entire thing. She was confused and looked at me. She's like, Mark, that's everything. That's going to be all 3 visits and it's going to be the cap for your tooth. Now, my wife had to go one extent even more. She had to have a root canal done the same as my back tooth. She had a root canal done. They brought a specialist in. It was 4 visits and she's got a full crown like I have, but in porcelain because she didn't want gold. And that came to just shy of $700. This is why Costa Rica is one of the top dental destinations for cosmetic surgery. Any type of surgery, anywhere in the world, people will fly down here for tourism because it's cheaper for them to have their dental work and stay here for a week than it is to have the work at home. And they get to have a stress-free week while they're recouping and recovering from their operation. Now this is cool too, because depending on where you live will also depend on type of the healthcare that you need. And I always tell people it goes with their ages or the conditions that they have. If you're in the north part of the country, we do have major hospitals in the north part of the country. Central part of the country, like in San Jose, we have Metropolitan, Biblica, and we have SEMA, 3 of the top biggest hospitals in Latin America. When you come to the south part of Costa Rica, we are close proximity to that, but we do have Las Americas, and we have a brand new triage that's being built at the Capos Marina. So they are acknowledging and recognizing that there's a lot of baby boomers that are moving to Costa Rica. So they're putting state-of-the-art hospitals and facilities throughout the entire country. All right, guys, now a lot of baby boomers are choosing the Central Valley. And the reason why is because of the major hospitals that are close proximity and they're close to the airport. When you do get to the coastal lines like Uvita, Dominical, even in Guanacaste, Santa Teresa, Nasara, you are gonna pay a little bit more, not just for the place of where you wanna settle in, but even for the healthcare. What we actually did with my marketing team is we actually made a quiz. I want you in the camera to fill it out. And what this is gonna allow you to do, this is gonna actually choose the area for you that's gonna be best suited for you and your family to move here to Costa Rica. We're gonna take all the guesswork out of it because we're your eyes, we're your feet on the ground here, and we're gonna help you decide on what we think would be your best area. So if you want that, go to my Instagram, go into the link below and DM me location.